Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a mod that fixes my number one OCD gripe about my Tundra. There's one thing that drives me nuts every single time I look at it. It drives me crazy, and it's like this all the time. And I don't know why it's took me so long to do this mod, but we're going to do that mod today. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, which if you don't, please go do so. I put a picture of this dog. Let's see if I can get him in the picture right here on Instagram. So let me turn the camera around and show you what my number one gripe is. Some people got this right, some people didn't. Let me turn the camera around, show you what it is. Okay, we're on the passenger side of the truck. Look at this. That drives me crazy. This floor mat's all wrinkled up right here. It always shoves back up underneath the seat. Sometimes it's worse than this. Right here, as you can see the back, it should be sitting like this. And even when it does, look how floppy it is. These are some cheap all-weather floor mats. They do the job and they work, but this is just flimsy. And they don't have any lock here. The driver's side has two locks on it and it holds it in place really well. I don't know why they didn't put locks on the passenger side. I get the driver's side is a safety risk and they did it for that side so it didn't slide up underneath the pedal, but they could have just put one on this side, because every time somebody gets in here, it never fails. This thing slides up like that. I look over here, my OCD drives me crazy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and then I have to just, as soon as I stop the vehicle, I automatically get out, pull it back over. As soon as somebody else gets back in it, it pushes back up. So today, I'm gonna show you what we got to fix that. Okay, so what I got was the Husky liners, exact contour liners. These should have locks on both sides, so it should hold the passenger side in place. So no matter who gets in there, it shouldn't slide forward or backwards. So we're going to install these in the truck. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, obviously, is take my truck and vacuum it out, because it is filthy inside there. And these should actually be a little bit better all-weather floor mats. It should cover more. It should keep some of that dirt and stuff from getting in the carpet like the factory ones have. So obviously the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my truck and I'm going to vacuum it out. I'm just going to take it and do it at the car wash. It's not that far away. I have a little vacuum I usually do it with in here, but I don't feel like dragging all that out. So I'm just going to take it to the car wash real quick, vacuum out the truck, and then we'll be right back. We'll install these floor mats. Okay, I just got back from vacuuming out the truck. I want to say that is the worst vacuum cleaner I've ever used in my entire life. It was so sorry. I mean, it was awful. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to get the camera turned down. We're going to open this box and see what all's inside it. I'll probably cut the camera, go ahead and read the directions, and then we'll install them together. So let me get the camera turned down, show you what all's in the box. Neighbor's leaving. Okay. So, have the trusty Chris Reeves Sabenza. Just cut this tape right here. Unboxing. The tape on this side too. Then put the knife up. There we go. Should be it. Inside the box, we have the liner. This, see how many holes it's got. This one looks like the passenger side one because it's only got one hole right there. You can see what that looks like. It's got the label right here, the Husky Liners logo. A lot of people say they don't like it. It don't bother me either way. It don't bother me either way. Then there's a little bit of instructions, and then there's the piece that actually screws down into your carpet that holds that one in place so it doesn't move like the one I have now that I hate so bad. Next, you have the driver's side, and it just looks, it just holds in by the two regular driver's side little locks that's already in place. So some people say they don't like this little place. I'll show you where that goes here in a minute, and I'll tell you why I don't mind it. Let me cut the camera, get you set up inside, and get these things installed. Okay, I've got you set up on the tripod. I'm gonna try to work around it to show you how this goes in. This one should be really easy. You just undo these two little tabs right here, just lift up on it, and take it right out. Look how flimsy this one is. I mean, it's nothing. Now we have the one from Husky, and it's really rigid, and it just slides right in like so. I know my head's probably in the way, but this one actually has a pretty tight fit. And then you just turn these little tabs back, and that one's in there. Now you can see how much more this one covers. We turn it down. You can see this actually has a door seal right here that the other one didn't have. Kind of sits up on your door seal. It covers these seat brackets right here. Comes up underneath the pedals more, and it has this flat place right here. Now I told you some people don't like that, and I'm going to tell you why I don't mind it. When I wear flip-flops in the summertime, like if I just run out and leave and I'm wearing flip-flops, I'll take my flip-flops off to drive, because I've got my flip-flops hung up on the floorboard and couldn't get them out. It was like I had to panic real quick, had to jerk my foot out to hit the brakes. So I think it's more dangerous to drive in flip-flops than just drive without flip-flops. So with these little ridges right here would probably dig into the bottom of your foot. But with this flat spot right here, even with that little checker, and that checkering drill isn't very aggressive or anything, I think that'll be very comfortable to fit your foot on if you wear flip-flops and you drive barefooted. That's just my 2 cents. I don't know, but that's why I don't mind that, and I think that fits very, very well. You can see how easy it was to put this side in. So now we'll go put in the other side, and I'll show you exactly how that goes in and how that's going to hold in place. Okay, now for the passenger side. Now, like I said before, these will scoot up and get all out of whack, and there'll be a big gap right here. As you can see, let me get it turned down a bit. You can see that gap right there, and that'll form, and they're just real flimsy. I didn't like that gap. It drove me crazy. So we're going to take this one out, and I'm going to show you how to install the passenger side and how it's going to stay in place better than this one did. First of all, I want to show you how aggressive the little treads are on the bottom of these. This probably wouldn't move even if I didn't do this part, but we are actually going to put this in the way it's supposed to be. So you just slide it up in here and make sure you get it aligned up where you want it. And I think that looks about right there. I want it to cover most of the floor mat, get it tied up in everything, and that looks about right there. Now you can see there's a hole right here that's not, there's nothing there to screw it down to, but it comes with this little screw here. And you can see the bottom of the thread is real sharp. And what you do is you just take the top off of this, and there's a little tab right here. And what they say to do is, they say to take a coin and stick down in here and screw that in. So what you'll want to do is you need to lift this up. I'm sorry if my head's in it. I have to kind of get down here to put this underneath it. Slide this up through the hole, get it back aligned, make sure it's exactly where you want it. And that looks about right there. You really want to make sure you get this where you want it right off the bat, off the start. Make sure it's exactly right. So that little tab is sitting right there. Kind of get it centered up a little bit in the hole. You can see right there that little tab. Sorry again, my head gets in the line, and we'll try to do this without getting in it. But then you take this screw here, or a coin, and you actually screw that down into the carpet. Now that might take a little bit of pressure. Hopefully I'm not in the camera too much. This is going to take some pressure. A coin probably isn't the best thing to use, but that's what they said to use, so that's what I got. But the coin keeps wanting to slip out of my fingers. I'm just going to kind of leave it where it's at and see if I can't get up underneath it, put some pressure on it, and screw it down with my fingers. There we go. I just raised it up and screwed it down with my fingers is all I did. I may take the coin and actually finish screwing it down, but to get it started, I just use my fingers. I'm sure it doesn't actually lock completely down in place, but it's pretty tight right there. I don't think that's going to come out. So I think we're pretty good right there. It feels like it's in there pretty secure. Now we just put this back down over it like so. Like that. Make sure everything is good and snug. Now we'll just take this cap and screw down on it. And there we have it. That's installed. That's not going anywhere. You can see right there, it's not going to slide because that cap's going to keep it in place. And that solves my biggest complaint with the Toyota Tundra. Okay, now the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take these bags that came with the Husky liners, and I'm gonna stick my old liners back down in them. I'm not gonna clean them. I'm not that into it to worry about if they're dirty or not. The reason I'm doing this is because if I ever decide to get rid of the truck, of course, I'll probably just leave the Husky liners in it unless they fit the next vehicle that I buy, then I may take them out. But that's also another reason to keep these, because if they do fit another Tundra or something that I buy, or if, heaven forbid, I ever wreck this one and I buy one about the same model year, I can take that out. I can put these back in it and take those out, and they'll still have the floor liners in it. Or if I ever sell the vehicle and the Husky liners do not fit my next vehicle, I can leave those in and give the factory floor mats to the person that buys the vehicle. So that's what I'm gonna do, stick them back in this box, store them in the basement, so forth and so on. And that pretty much sums up everything that has to do with my biggest issue with the Toyota Tundra. That floor mat drove me crazy for a year. Why it took me a year to do this, I don't know, but I finally have that solved. Okay, I got everything put back in the box, everything's cleaned up. I forgot to throw this in, so I'm adding it here at the end. They do make a back floor liner. Husky does. It covers a little more than the factory does. So if I really like these and I like how they feel and everything, I may buy a rear liner for this. I don't have a problem with the rear liner, but there again, the Husky ones do cover a little more and are a little more secure with stuff being spilled or something like that. So if I do like these, I'll buy a rear Husky liner, and I'll show y'all how that works and how it fits and how it looks. There is a couple of those. One of them just barely comes up underneath the rear seat, and one of them has a piece of rubber that covers all the way up underneath the rear seat. I don't know which one of those I would want, but whichever one I decide, if I decide to do that, you all will be one of the first ones to know. Appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.